Welcome to my channel. Today I thought I'd turn the webcam on. I'm going to be putting the final touches on these two travelers notebooks that I made. I call these layered travelers notebooks. You'll find out why as we go along here. And I thought I'd turn the camera on while I'm filling them up with the final embellishments and show you how I do it. Um, these aren't as fancy as some other junk journals where you put a lot of pockets and corner tucks and things like that. I'm just embellishing these for movable things for people to use when they use their traveler's notebooks for journaling. So one of the first things I do is I make a bunch of clusters, and then I'll add any amount, usually at least 6 to each journal, and then maybe a couple more. And so I look through the pages first, and I find blank spots that I want to put a little bit of something on. Now another thing I do is I try to I'll either paper clip these in, or I will staple them in. If I staple them in, the staples are easy to remove so that you can move the clusters around, because I want people to be able to move things around so that they can make this journal their own whenever they purchase it. So, and I don't know, there's no rhyme or reason to when I decide to uh, staple or whatever. One thing I will do though is I will think about as I go through the journal, putting some things high, medium, and low so that the chunkiness of the journal stays good, or even. And then I'll look at colors and sizes for these clusters, trying to decide. See, I like that one. And I'm not going to put a I'm not going to put anything on the other side of this one because that paper is really nice. So this one I am going to staple real quick up here. And I have my little Tim Holtz stapler, but I don't know if I have enough staples in it, so we'll just use it till it doesn't work anymore. So since I'm only going to put about 6 to 8 in here, I don't want to put them on every page, and I have other things to put on other pages. So we'll go a few pages, and then we'll find another one and see if we like. That one's real cute. So I think I'm going to paper clip that one in there. I just thought that it would be interesting to see how we fill these up with our stuff. And I have, to fill this up, I have clusters. I have strips of paper, cut off paper. I have punches of different things. And then I also have some fabric clusters. And that's what I end up putting in here as I'm working along and filling them up. And I usually try to find blank pages to put things on. And I love making clusters, so that's always good. And I kind of like to pick up a color on the other page. And a lot of times if I put this paper clip in here, I'll put something eventually on the other side of the paper clip too. Sometimes I don't, but most of the time I try to put something on both sides. I think I used fabric tuck on this one, and it wants to kind of buckle. There we go. All right. Now we go a few more pages in here. I think we'll put something on the purple one here, even though it's got some dots on it. And I just looked through my clusters for something interesting. This one's kind of nice. I've stuck to a kind of a vintage retro and botanical theme. So I think I'll staple this one because that can even be a little tuck if you staple it right up here. Make sure you don't got 2 pages because I've done that before. But like I say, these little staples and the big, they come right out. So when I do my journals and I'm making them my own, I take a lot of those out and then I use them in my different setups. So this is a center. So I'm going to go past the center right now and think about that one there. Let's see. And also you want to make sure if you're using all kinds of different paper, some of the vintage paper is kind of thin. So you want to think about what weight of stuff that you're putting on it. And these clusters are all made from ephemera pieces. So this was a piece of embroidery, and those are little stitch things on there. This came from a vintage garden book. This came from another embroidery where they have the grids and stuff like that. So a lot of the clusters are actually ephemera clusters, so which are really fun to make. I'm going to make another video about making clusters. And we'll just keep going here. Just look for pages. See, I'm going to want to, I don't know, I have this thing about blank. I like to leave a few blank, but it kind of drives me nuts to have them blank. So this way, somebody can take these off and then use them, and they'll still have blank pages in their journal. Let's see if we go like that, or if we go like this. I like it better in the middle, and we have, you know what, we haven't done any at the bottom. I don't want to do that one at the bottom anyways, right there. My video keeps saying frame dropped on it. I hope it's getting these. I do not know why it started doing that. Okay. And then let's do one at the bottom here. No. Let's see. No. Ooh, that's a pretty one. That's kind of big. But no, I don't think it's too big. Look at that. That looks kind of pretty. All right. Make sure we just get this one page here and not... All right. And I might add a few more after I start filling it up. It just depends. You kind of have to go through and build it up just like you're building up the... I just made this one. This one's out of some vintage gift wrapping paper and a stamp and some lace behind it. And my bunny's so cute. I'm going to leave my bunny for right now. I might have to put that bunny in one of mine because it's so cute. Let's see, what's this one? No, I don't love it. I don't love it. I did get kind of botanical with all this. That one's cute. Kind of stuck with flowers, and so that's a piece of linen that has some raised parts in it. That's from a vintage shower sticker packet that I got. That came out of an old vintage magazine, and then I used some designer paper on the back. This isn't very, the way I got my camera set up isn't very great for stapling this stuff. I want to make sure I got one page and straighten this out a little bit. Okay, I think we'll put one more in, and then we'll move on to the next stuff. Yeah, we'll do it on the back of this page. So we've done high, middle. We could do middle or low. Middle or low. That's cute. Let's do that. Let's do that. I have a whole desk full of pieces for clusters, just little pieces. Okay, so we went through on the clusters one time. Now we're going to go through. I have this pack of paper strips. So what I've been doing is I was thinking that people could use these for the little strips for different parts of their journal for journaling, and it would get rid of some of my paper strips. So I did it in my last layered journal, and I thought it, they didn't say whether they loved it or not, but so I just make a little thing of paper strips, and then I find a place to tack it, like right here. And we put a paper clip. And I found some paper clips on Amazon that were smaller paper clips. Here, I'll show you in case you want to look for them, because I was only finding regular size paper clips except for the Tim Holtz ones, and those are kind of spendy, and I'm all about cheap. These are the ones I found. Oh, my frame dropped. Hopefully it's still there. It's the number 3 is what makes them smaller, and then that makes them 25 millimeter. And so they're smaller than a regular size paper clip, which is what I was looking for to clip this stuff in. So, all right, more. So I have vintage book pages and some vintage paper that I clipped on there, and a little bit of, let's cut that one in half. Let's go half. A little bit of designer paper. And we'll find another place to stick this. Go through here. And we can do it on a page that has stuff too. I always like to get the pages that are blank so that we don't have too many of them that are blank on the back. Okay. Here we go. And I'll be doing a full flip through of these once I'm done. So let's see what we have here. And this is from a really old writing book where they practice their writing, like real vintage. And this is from an old book about birds. So see, I think somebody could use some of that stuff in their journaling. This time we're going to put it on I'll turn this around. So the flat side is here, and we're going to put it on this ledger page and clip it in. These journals have been fun to make. I'm trying to make them all different layered sizes, and I really, really like that. So you're going to see a lot more of these from me, because I just think that makes journaling so much fun. Okay, we're going to do the ledger paper on this side too. This is a little piece of wallpaper. And this is from a vintage typing book. So I guess I'm kind of into threes here. I never really thought about it before, but that seems to be what I'm doing. Do that. Find another set of stuff. Here's a bright one. And then this is a little bit of coffee dyed paper. And another little bit of coffee dyed paper. So where should we put this? How about right here? I'm trying to move them around so that they're not all at the top. All right, now, and I might do a few more after a while on that. I'll just think about that. Now I'm going to do on the back side of these, I'm going to start adding some of these punch outs. And I have flowery, planty ones. I have from a children's book, flowery, planty ones. I have map ones. And then I have big map circle, little map circle, which I like to take these and go. I like to get one map circle big and one map circle little and put them together and stick them in a spot. Now that's too much the same color, so I'm not going to stick it there. I really like these for the little pieces of paper, the backs of the little pieces, because it's lightweight. So like I might staple it right there. And then we have a little bit of color on that side, like so. And then we look for some flowers. Well, first let's find our page. Okay, this one. We're going to look through here and see. That one's kind of good. So, oh, there's two of them together. So we put that little circle, and that came from a vintage little flower guide. So what's the back side of this one? And these came out of those embroidery kind of books. These are like, I don't know, where you embroidered that color green there, and then you kind of like that. Let's go towards the back. Okay. And then these came off of some time cards. Stick one down here, and I have a green side. I like the red side. Stick that there. This keeps saying frame drop, so I hope this is working. Let's do a children's book page. I need some more children's book pages, but I like that one there. That's cute. So we'll stick that one up there, like so. And the back of this one. See, that's pretty busy, so I might or might not put something right there. I'll think about that one for a while because that's a pattern paper page. And the same on this one, although this pattern paper is not as busy. So it could have a flower to go with this green over here. That's pretty. So we'll put that in there. And then the last thing that I do is I stamp a little bit. So because this video will become impossibly long if I keep doing all of this on camera, I'll move to the stamping and finish this other stuff later. I take some of my favorite stamps and I stamp around a little, just a little bit. I don't want to put too much in there because you don't want to fill up their journal that they want to make their own. But one of my new favorite stamps is this little bee stamp. It's so cute. So I'm gonna find a place. I usually like to put those on the back of the little pieces too, because it's light. It doesn't make it heavier. So we'll make a green bee. I'll put him right there. There. See, isn't that cool? And then the other stamp I found says a note, which is, what we're doing in these journals. So I like to put that somewhere. Not sure where. Let's put it, this is a piece of wallpaper. I don't want there either. Okay, right here. This is from a bird book, and it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. So let's see if it'll take. Oh, I didn't bring the black over. I gotta get my black. I'll be right back. I had it out. I just didn't bring it back. Close that up. I'm going to close that one up too until I'm ready to use it. Otherwise, I'll have it all over the place. So let's do this note one. Anyways, hopefully the kind of paper is slick. Hopefully it'll take the ink and not run. Oops. Don't do it upside down, Sherry. Okay, there we go. A note. Oh, I like it. So I have a couple of my favorite stamps. I have one that says create and a little butterfly and then a little leaf. And I stamp around on a few pages. I probably don't put more than, actually probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 in sometimes, depending on how many. If I see, I think this looks really blank right here because there's the blanks the back and then this is blank. So if I don't do something in here, I might stamp it just to give it a little bit of interest. So if you're having any trouble filling up your journals, there's some simple ones to do. Oh, the fabric clusters. I got to show you these two, and then I'll go. These are fun. These are as much fun as the paper clusters, ephemera clusters. Just taking little pieces of fabric, and I've been just stapling them and then putting a button in the middle. And I could go crazy doing this. I had to stop. And I will add these too. And these mostly have to go at the top of the page. So I will add about 4 to 6 of these. Vintage embroidery, lace. And then I just stapled them in the middle and then put a button on top of it. So I'll put these in too. So these are kind of like making those 5-thing clusters where you put 5 things together and staple it in the middle. This way you put different fabric in there. And this is a little bit of a rickrack right there. So I'm going to use those too. So that's how I'm filling up my traveler's notebooks to be used. And I hope you guys are having a great crafting day. Thank you for stopping by.